Hi everyone. Today's topic of conversation is going to be for the Bikini Girls. So unfortunately it's not really for everyone, this video, but I do feel like the topic of what I'm going to kind of talk about could really help some of you girls out. And that topic is show day. So as we all know, we work extremely hard for however long you might do your prep for, 8, 12, 16 weeks, whatever that may be. And it all comes down to that one day. And that kind of puts a lot of pressure on making sure everything's right, making sure that you've done everything you can for your body, as well as obviously getting extra little bits and bobs ready. So I'm kind of going to talk through what I do. And I'm not saying this is right gospel on what you should do, but it works best for me and you might find it works well for you too. So I'm just going to start off right at the beginning of the day and take you through. So like prep for the week of competition, I'll do things like get my nails done, get my hair done. What else do I do? That's really it, as in the look of myself. I look pretty crappy in the lead up to it because obviously it's peak week. You're not going to be feeling your best, let's face that. Another thing I make sure I do is, because I do wear fake tan like on quite a regular basis, the week before, in fact I'd probably say 2 weeks before, I don't wear any tan whatsoever. Because obviously on show day or the day before, however you kind of do your tan, your skin needs to be as fresh and as oil free, product free as possible. So I always, for UKBFF shows speaking here, I always use the official tanners, which is Pro Glow Tanning. If you've done a UKBFF comp before, I'm sure you'll be well aware of Cheryl and her team. I think they're absolutely amazing. I've done quite a lot of shows now to know, especially with the IFBB as well, which I'll go on to in a second. But with UKBFF Pro Glow, you cannot go far from wrong. I trust them 100% with my tan. So what I'd do is, I used to get it from them. Now you can just buy it online, but you can buy the skin prep and the skin moisturiser. So I still get the prep, but actually recently you can get a St. Moritz tan prep. In fact, I'll go see if I've got it. I do. So I use this, which is the best way to kind of show you guys their primer. And that's basically just like an exfoliator. That works really well, it gets rid of all the dead skin, etc, etc. And use that for the week before. Every night when I bath or shower, once a day, just prep my skin with that. And then when I get out of the bath shower, this is actually the wrong one I picked up, but it looks like this, and it's a moisturiser. So you do that religiously every day for the week before. But then, as Cheryl tells you, not to moisturise on the day. That's a big no-no. So yeah, that's kind of what I do with regards to tanning for UKBFF shows. When it comes to IFBB, I've done it myself. I've had it done, and I've realised the best thing for me is definitely to do it myself. Arnold 2015, that was the first time I'd ever tanned myself, and I'd messaged Cheryl asking her advice on it as well, and I'd bought Jan Tanner kit, and I found it quite easy to use. Suki did that for me, most of it, and it's quite, you can even do it on yourself, like when it's your arms and stuff, and it actually goes on really easy. So girls like fake tan, how you know it kind of stays really wet on your skin for a little bit, this literally instantly dries straight into your skin. So I use that. Then this year, for Europeans, I thought I just wanted to take the stress out of everything, didn't kind of want to have to think about anything, so I decided to go with their tanners. Now this is no disrespect to the tanners, they were lovely girls, and they used Pro Tan, that was the official tanning. It was absolute hell on earth for me. It just did not react well with my skin. The way they do it is completely different to Jan Tanner. So as you know, UKBFF shows, you'll go and you are literally sprayed once, up and down everywhere, and then that is it. whereas with Pro Tan you go a few days before and you have like 2 to 3 layers beforehand, and then you have it on the day as well. And I ended up not being dark enough, being a little overcautious with it, so it's kind of a bit of my fault, but not my fault. But from that experience then I would not use it again. So after that I did Amateur Olympia, and again used my own tan, and it just worked a lot better for me. So in future, UKBFF I'll go to the tanners, IFBB I will do it myself. That is what I do with tan. What else? Bikini, obviously it's a massive part that of how you look. An ill-fitting bikini or a bikini that's the wrong colour for you, then it's just not going to do anything for you on stage. Personally I've tried a few different colours, and I'm not going to reveal the colour that I'm wearing this time just because I want that to be a surprise, but I've kind of gone back to a colour I've used before, but kind of not. It's a little bit of a mixture. But whoever you do get your bikini from should be experienced enough to know obviously what would and wouldn't suit you based on hair colour, eye colour. And I'm obviously with Sparkle Bikini, can't recommend them enough purely because of that experience from start to finish, making sure that you get what you want. So yeah, that's kind of it with bikini. Like I said, just make sure it fits you properly, because when you do your posing on stage, that's going to complement how you look as well. Makeup. I do my own makeup just because I just like the way I do it. I trust myself to do it, not that I don't trust other girls to do it, but I'm happy with how I do it. And then I just think if I was to now change and go to someone else and I'm not happy, then it would just be an extra stress that you don't need on the day. The day needs to be stress-free, so make sure you're really organised beforehand, whether you are going to do it yourself or not. Then yeah, just make sure you know what you're doing. I was thinking about maybe doing a tutorial. I am no makeup artist, but maybe just to show you guys what I do. A big thing is like the foundation. Obviously you're not going to wear the same foundation you wear day in, day out, because the colour of your body is going to be different, and you do see obviously sometimes white faces and tanned orange bodies, so that's a no-go. So it's just making sure if you are going to do it yourself, you're experienced and you know what you're doing. I use a lot of YouTube tutorials for the eyes and stuff like that, and just practice on myself, and then obviously no one knows you better than you. So yeah, that's that. What else? I'm going to say this, I'm not going to go into detail on what it is, but if you look it up you'll know exactly what I mean. For show day, when you need to go for a wee, a she wee. I'm just going to leave that there. Google it, girls, trust me. That's a must in my case. Then I'll always pack a few days before, and I'll have a list, and I'll check it, and I'll check it again. I do have a spare bikini, which I always take with me to shows. Not that my current bikini and what I'm going to wear is going to anything's going to happen to it, but I just like to be on the safe side. Like, anything can happen on the day, and I've always got my spare bikini just in case. What else? Right, this is a massive thing. Personally I think as well. Whether you coach yourself or if you're coached by others, I do highly recommend just putting your trust in them, because when it comes to show day, it's so easy. You see there's a group of girls backstage, there can be like 50 girls at one time in a room, and you might be on your own, you might be sat with a group of girls and they're on about what they're doing. It's quite easy to be led astray by it, I think. Personally, I'm quite headstrong, and Suki preps me, and literally I do everything he says. I'm scared if I don't, then it'll be my fault, that if anything went wrong. But for me on show day, we've got obviously a plan of what I eat in the morning, and then depending on times of being on stage as to what I'll eat through the day. And then it comes to the thing of pumping up and eating these sugars. I've seen some people drinking, trying to dry out. For me, I don't really understand that. I have a glass of wine the night before, don't get me wrong, because then I'll dry out, help me dry out overnight. But on the day, unless it's for nerves or something, just personally don't agree with it, but that again is personal preference. With sugars, like you'll see some people pumping up and eating the sugars, and they're not on stage for an hour, which is not going to do any good. The reason we pump up and have the sugars is just to give us that extra blood pump right before stage, so it's literally, well, I do it like 15 minutes before. So that's a kind of a key thing of knowing when you're on stage. So if you are going to be on stage in what you think 3 hours, and you see an official walking by and they've got the running order for the day, just check. It's your day at the end of, it's your day. Like I ask 25 questions if I have to, because I want everything to go right for me. So even if at every 15 minutes I'm saying, is everything still running smoothly, then I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, you might annoy them, but hey ho, it's your day. So yeah, I always check that, and I tend to keep myself to myself on show day just because I'm usually super excited and nervous mixed together, so I just like to keep my composure and not let myself get sidetracked on anything. If at the end of the day, if you've prepped and you're really happy with your prep, you're organised, you've got your posing nailed, then the only nerves you should have is that stage nerves, the mix of butterflies. You shouldn't be worried about anything else. And I think that is the key, really, just to enjoy it on the day as much as you can. So yeah, I think I've covered everything there on a case of just the prep running up to the comp. Any questions, just drop me a comment below or DM me directly on Facebook or Instagram.